Nobody knows it all. Nobody knows it all. And each time you see people saying that Biafra is a spirit, Biafra is a spirit, Biafra is a spirit. If you sincerely believe that Biafra is a spirit, you must believe that Biafra can come through anybody, including an enemy. You must believe that Biafra can come through anybody, including an enemy. That is why you have to be very careful the way you go about your fight. You must be very careful the way you go about your fight. Some fight you put up might be hindering your freedom. There are some fights you undertake, it will hinder your freedom instead of hastening your freedom. When you bring up a legitimate fight, we will know with evidence, proven evidence of causing hindrance, proven evidence. If there is an evidence, a track evidence that shows that so person is standing as a hindrance. Just like when you are embezzling fund, if you are embezzling the fund that was meant to fund people who will protect the indigenous people of Biafra, if you are being found of embezzling fund, that one is a direct attack. It's an open attack. We don't need a prophet to tell us. We don't need a prophet. If it is proven that you embezzle the money of IPOB, if it's proven that you are being a hindrance, you are standing as just like people. If you are opposing the seat at home, you are opposing seat at home. Even when you know that 90% of Biafra people, 90% of Biafra people, they are standing for sit at home on their own without being forced. When the leadership of IPOB introduced the sit at home, every Biafran embraced it. Every single Biafran embraced it. All of a sudden, it was removed. And Biafran said, no, we will not stop until our leader is being released. And it is their right to say no. It is the right of Biafran people to say no because they saw it working. And that no that they have said, and they continue to sit at home till today, you and I have said it, that the only single weapon, the only single gunshot that have been fired since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was abducted is sit at home. The only gunshot that the Biafran people have fired since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was arrested is sit at home. Nothing else. There is nothing else. Not in the, even in the court, nothing is happening in the court. Nothing is happening in the court. In a court where a judge will tell the lawyers that you have the right to visit Mazi Nnamdi Kanu 2 times in a week. You have the right to visit your client 2 times in a week. Yet, immediately they walk out of the court. They denied Mazi Nnamdi Kanu 4 times visits. That 4 times, is that not a month? 4 good times. He was denied visits. There was no, they didn't allow anybody to see him. So how can you have hope in such kind of a justice system? How can you have hope in the court of your enemy, in the court of your slave master? How can we have any hope there? How can anybody have any hope there? The only weapon we have been using and the only shot that have been fired from Biafra people is sit at home. And when you go to their conventional media, go and talk to a politician in Nigeria, the only thing the politicians are talking about is sit at home. And as soon as you mention sit at home, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes to the picture. The only thing that have made Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remain relevant today in Biafra land, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remain the pillar of Biafra land, remain relevant and that you cannot take it away, is sit at home. Because they can't stop talking about sit at home. They can't stop. Initially, they were denying that it doesn't affect federal government. But recently, you have seen that it's affecting the federal government even more. It is affecting the federal government even more. And that is why every single Biafran have to raise the bar. We have to raise the bar. You don't bring it down. You don't bring it down. And I thank Chukwu Okike Abiyama for my brothers and sisters in Biafra land. I thank Chukwu Okike Abiyama for my brothers and sisters in Biafra. They are doing a marvelous work against all odds, against all attack. They are standing their ground. You see the propaganda. They have graduated to the propaganda up to sharing flyers to tell people that the sit at home can no longer hold. They are sharing flyers, intimidating people, attacking people, arresting people, because of, and still yet, Biafran people are sitting at home. It is not too much a sacrifice to make for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you can tell yourself the truth, sit at home is not too much a sacrifice to make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have given up everything that he owns because of the struggle. He has given up every single thing he owns because of the struggle. He gave up his own family. Today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not with his children. He's not with his wife. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, parents are no more. All in the name of Biafra. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the only career Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has today is to actualize Biafra. He has no other career. He has no other career. I could remember Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us that he has no private account. He owns no car. He owns no car of his own. He owns no property of his own. All his mission is to restore Biafra. A man who has nothing except Biafra. Today they are holding him, giving him every offer. Every offer. There is no kind of offer they are not giving him. He has rejected all, and he is standing and saying it is Biafra or death. Then we say, sit at home. We didn't ask you to carry AK-47 to go on the street. We didn't ask you to carry flag to come out on the street so that they will shoot you. We didn't ask you to to destroy yourself so that they will come and kill you. We didn't ask you to take up arms. We didn't ask you to go and kill anybody. We didn't ask you to go to the war front. We didn't ask you to take flyer or take AK-47 to fight anybody. The only single request that was made by Biafran people is sit at home. Sit at home to let the world know that you are not in support of the intimidation against the Biafran people and against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So many of us cannot go to Abuja to speak. We don't have anybody to represent us. The South, the Biafra land does not have any representation anywhere. In that very Janjaweed government, Biafra land don't have any representation. Nobody is representing Biafra. Nobody. That is why we decided to choose to represent ourselves. How do we represent ourselves? By the civil disobedience. Biafra have no single representative in the Janjaweed government, not even one. Not even one. There is no politician that is representing Biafra land. And it is only Biafra. The Arewa people have their representative. Arewa have people who are representing them. The senators, the House of Assembly members that are from Arewa, they will say it and they will stand up in the House of Assembly and say that I'm from Arewa. I'm Arewa man. Every one of them will come and say it and say, I'm Arewa. Our Oduduwa brothers, they have a degree of representation. They have some certain rate of representation in the government. That is why in Oduduwa land, there are some schools, they are singing the national anthem of Oduduwa in their school. In Oduduwa land, they are singing their national anthem. Even in the House of Assembly, Oduduwa people sing the national anthem. And they are proud to tell you that they are Oduduwa. Some of their governors, they force their people to sing Oduduwa national anthem in their school. In Oduduwa land. That is a wonderful development. But in Biafra land, what do you see? In Biafra land, no single politician wants to identify himself as a Biafra. Not even one. No single politician have ever identified himself with Biafra. Talk less of governors. What the governors do is to invite the military to come and kill those who are calling themselves Biafra. Even knowing fully where they are Biafra, somebody like Dave Umahi will come out and say that Ebonyi State is not Biafra. A madman like Dave Umahi. How dare you? Dave Umahi will shamelessly, a man who claimed to be an engineer, an educated man, will say that he is not Biafra. Even when he knows that Biafra is a country that have existed and still existed, is still in the map. That was why Ben Bruce was asking them in the House, in the Senate. Ben Bruce was asking them in the Senate, why did you remove the bite of Biafra from the map? Why? The person that asked that question was a Biafra man. A Biafra man asked that question. Ben Bruce, not an Igbo man. He's a Biafran. A Biafran from coastal region. He said, why did you remove the bite of Biafra from the map? Did he get the support? Go and watch the video. It's still online. He didn't get any support from other Biafran. Others shut their mouth. They sat down. They are ashamed to call themselves Biafrans. They are very ashamed to call themselves Biafran. But somebody from Arewa will boldly say, I am Arewa. Oduduwa person will say, I am Oduduwa person. But when it comes to the issue of Biafra, nobody claims to be a Biafran. Instead, they will bring the military to kill us because we claim to be Biafrans. There are some videos that I'm going to share on when I go to Choose Survival. Choose for Survival. I'm going to go there. After I finish this program, I'll go to Choose for Survival. I will share a video. you will see how the home of Biafran people are being destroyed. That Hope Uzodinma, about 4 days ago, is still destroying house, burning house of Biafran people. Not because they kidnapped anybody, not because they raped anybody, not because they demanded ransom, not because they were seen with AK-47, simply because they are identified as people who call themselves Biafrans. Because you identify yourself as Biafran, Hope Uzodinma will come after you and kill you. Suppose there is somebody who is supposed to be a Biafran, somebody who is supposed to defend you and I. These are the kind of people, the kind of monsters we have in Biafra land. Monsters. People who are supposed to represent you, people who are supposed to fight for you and I, people who are supposed to stand for us. We don't have any representation in the Janjaweed country. That is why we must live. We must do everything humanly possible to get our freedom. I thank Chukwu Okukabema who has set free our brother Sunday Igboho. Thank Chukwu Okukabema, today Sunday Igboho have regained his freedom against all odds. The same freedom is coming to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will definitely be released. Chukwu Okukabema will not allow him to continue to be in the hand of the DSS. He will be released. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will definitely be released because he's innocent and he's on a mission. And why you must have to continue to do whatever you are doing. Continue to intensify in what you are doing to make sure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released. If you don't know, the situation of Sunday Igboho and situation of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not the same. For those of you who are going to be comparing the two, some of you will be busy trying to compare Sunday Igboho and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And if you think that our Yoruba brothers were sleeping, if you think that Oduduwa brothers were sleeping, Oduduwa brothers were not sleeping. Our Oduduwa brothers were not sleeping. They were fighting day and night. They were fighting day and night. Their desperate group recently, we are even making donations to raise more lawyers for Sunday Igboho. They didn't leave him. Oduduwa brothers did not leave Sunday. They were fighting for Sunday Igboho until he was released. And you that is a Biafran, don't be deceived. The situation of Sunday Igboho and that of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not the same. Sunday Igboho was arrested in Benin Republic, not in Nigeria, in Benin Republic, another country. Another country. Thank Chukwu Okukabema that at least they have a sensible president, a president that listens, a president that has conscience. So it is not the same thing with Nigeria. Nigeria is a company, British company, run by an imposter, a dead man. It is a different case. Nigeria is being run by animals, people who don't have conscience, people who their conscience is dead. They are the people running Nigeria. So don't compare the Republic and Nigeria. They are not the same people. It is not the same situation. I thank Chukwu Okukabema for the freedom of our brother Sunday Igboho. And I thank the President of the Republic for listening to the voice of reason. I thank the President of the Republic for listening to the voice of reason. It is not the same with the country called Nigeria. In Nigeria, we are dealing with demonic people, demonic men who don't have conscience, people who their conscience is sealed with iron. So it is going to be a different ball game. That is why we have to intensify what we are doing. We have to intensify what. If you have not engaged in sit at home, this is the time you have to engage in sit at home. Sit at home have to increase. Don't tell me that the case of Sunday Igboho, people did not sit at home. We have to sit at home because the situation is not the same. As long as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is being held by this imposter, this caliphate that don't understand the language of peace, people who are not reasonable, who don't have conscience, people who don't obey the rule of law, how can you tell me to stop what I'm doing? How can you tell me to fold hand and begin to work? How can you tell me to depend only on the lawyers? How can a Biafran depend only on the lawyers? How can you depend in the court of your enemy when you know that these people violate every of their order? El Zazaki have been granted bail so many times, they refuse to leave him. So many other people have been granted bail in their court, they refuse to leave them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in 2015 was granted bail. They refused to leave him. Even when they left him, eventually they go to the house to go and kill him. So it is not the same situation. We are dealing with monsters here. And the only way we can free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is by what we do. Mass action of the people. We free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Don't fold your hands. Don't fold your hands. And already, Biafrans are doing wonders. And we will do more. We will do more. For those who are still inviting the military in Biafra land, prepare yourself for slaughter. Prepare yourself. From the 15th of this month, you might think it's a joke. Just as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told you to close the borders, remove the checkpoints, you refuse. You saw what happened. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave the order, remove the checkpoints, you saw what happened. As stubborn as you are, you refuse to do it. But when the time came, you were forced to do it. That time is coming again. 15th going up. If you have a brother or a sister, uncle, auntie, that is part of this Janjaweed that is killing Biafran people in Biafra land, if you have any brother, any uncle that is working for the Janjaweed, anybody that is a politician operating in Biafra land, you better go and warn them. Go and warn them. After 15th, they are the one that will be faced. They will get it hot. After 15th, Biafra land will be too hot for them to stay. We don't want to see any military in our streets again. We don't want to see military in the streets of Biafra, in the villages of Biafra, in the bushes of Biafra. They should go back to their barracks. If they are looking for a place to train or to make practice, they should go to the north. They should go to the north. There are enough terrorists for them to fight over there. There are more than enough terrorists for them to fight. Stop disturbing the Biafra people. Stop disturbing the Biafrans. Biafra land has always remained the most peaceful part of that country called Nigeria. Even as at now, the most peaceful. And yet, they don't want us to have peace. The most peaceful, and yet it is the most militarized zone. Why is it so? Go and see how they are burning the homes of Biafran people. Burning homes of innocent people. I'm going to share the video on my other channel. When I finish now, I will go to that channel and share the videos. You go there and see the videos. You see the videos. I don't know why somebody will come and begin to speak on a different manner. Simply because you don't, I'm not talking in the way you want me to speak. Is that enough for you to destroy the foundation I have been led? Simply because I am not speaking the way you want me to speak. Is that enough to say that instead of that, let us start from square one? It is not right. We have gone a long way. We have come a long way and we must continue. Forward ever and backward never. Forward ever and backward never. Biafra is closed. Closer than before. Don't open up another gate when we have shut the gate of evil already. The gate of destruction have been shut already. The gate of destruction, the gate of deceit, the gate of lying, the gate of fraud have been shut. And all of a sudden, you want to open up another gate to create diversion, to create confusion. It is not right. It is not right. It is not right. I want every single Biafran that is watching this video, have it at the back of your mind. Have it at the back of your mind. As you are saying that Biafra is a spirit, allow the spirit of Biafra to take charge. If you sincerely believe that Biafra is a spirit, allow the spirit of Biafra to take charge. And when the spirit of Biafra is taking charge, we are talking about Chukwu Okike Abiyama. His wisdom is above that of man. And don't limit Chukwu Okike Abiyama. Don't limit Chukwu Okike Abiyama in his actions and wisdom. Don't limit him. Don't bottle Chukwu Okike. Don't put him in a bottle. And no. Chukwu Okike Abiyama is too big to be belittled. It's too big to be given a limitation. He can do what he wants to do, how he wants to do it, with anybody available for him. It's up to him. Chukwu Okike Abiyama can even use an enemy. I say it and I say it again. Chukwu Okike Abiyama can use an enemy, even a Janjaweed, to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you that call yourself a Biafran refuse to do the needful. You can see some people who you think they are enemy. You think they are enemy working against Biafra. But Chukwu Okike Abiyama is using them to push the agenda of Biafra forward. The arrest of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today, if the caliphate have known, if they have known what they know today, they will not arrest Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If the caliphate know what they know today, they would have just left Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on his own. But because Chukwu Okike Abiyama have planned it in that way for Biafra to come faster, Chukwu Okike Abiyama permitted them to do what they did. That was why they were not able to tamper with his life in Kenya. They would have killed him. If it was in their power, they would have killed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya. And nobody would do anything. After all, it was after 8 days before we heard about it. If not for Chukwu Okike Abiyama, when they kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya, none of us was there. You were not there. I was not there. For complete 8 days. 8 days is too much to waste somebody. 2 days is enough. Even a day alone is enough to waste somebody and forget about the story. Nobody will hear it. 1 day is enough to wipe somebody out. You will not hear the story. They will use acid and melt your body. No story, no traces. 1 day is enough. But in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because he's in a mission, because Chukwu Okeabiama himself planned it and permitted it, 8 good days. 8 good days. It was 8 days. Nobody had it. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody had any clue until we saw him in Nigeria. And after that miracle, you still think you can do this on your own. You still think you can stop Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You still think you can stop his release. You still think you can destabilize IPOB. It's only because you don't have conscience and you don't pity your own life. If you have conscience and you pity yourself, you will start doing the right thing and start speaking the right language. You will start doing the right thing and start speaking the right language. You will support everybody that is fighting for freedom of Biafra people. I say it, I say it again. Any suggestion you have, it doesn't matter who you are, as long as your suggestion is to make sure that Biafra comes, we will follow it. When you see so many of us who doesn't buy the idea of the leadership of IPOB, why the idea is not being bought is that most of the issues they are bringing, most of the suggestions they are bringing, is not pointing at the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, nor freedom of the people. It's just as if they are making us to be stagnant. It is just as if they are making us stagnant. What suggestion have the only suggestion they supported was the political solution, and today we have seen that the political solution is dead on arrival. We were saying it even before now, that the political solution cannot solve any problem. It is dead. But they didn't see it. When we said it, they begin to antagonize you. Why won't you support it? Why won't you support it? But at the end of the day, it was they themselves that came out and said that the elders have failed. The elders, they praised the Radio Biafra. They praised them and praised them and praised them. At the end of the day, they still came out and said that they have failed. And instead of going ahead to look for another solution on what to do, or go back to the drawing board and support that seat at home that is working, they did not. Because of ego, because of pride, because they feel that if they go back and begin to talk about the seat at home, somebody is going to take the praise, somebody is going to take the glory, they will feel defeated. Out of pride, they have refused to support something that is working. They refuse to support it blatantly, even when they know that that is the only shot you can fire, and everywhere we come down. They know that that is the only shot you will fire, everywhere will be calm. But because they don't want somebody to take glory, they don't want it to see as if they gave up, they wouldn't support it. It is sad. It's a very sad and painful situation. But Biafrans, do not lose focus. Let us remain focused. Remain focused. Remain focused. That is what Biafran has to do. Continue in the massive civil disobedience. The economic sanction against the Janjaweed. Continue on the economic sanction. Support the ESN through the Umueri account. Support ESN. Support ESN through Umueri account. Anything you can give, support through Umueri account. We have seen it work, and it's going to work. We have seen it work, and it is working. Economic sanction. That is the straw that will break the camel's back. The straw that will break the camel's back. You and I have to enforce it. We have to enforce it. We have to hold it strong. Make sure that it's being enforced. We have to enforce it. Nobody's going to enforce it for us. We have to enforce it. We must continue until Biafra comes. We must continue. Don't be distracted. Don't listen to gossip. Don't be distracted. I tell you again, everybody must not use the same language. Everybody must not speak on the same tongue. After all of us have different tribes. We are from different tribes, from different families. Even though we have one single ancestral parents, we are from one ancestral parents, but we are from different tongues and different families. We are educated differently. Our understandings are different. I must not talk the way you want me to talk. I must not pick a fight you want me to fight. I will pick my fight myself. Why must you force me to pick a fight? If you want me to pick a fight, you have to convince me, not by insulting me. You can go to your program. When you speak about an issue, make that issue concrete. Don't personalize it to somebody else. It is the right of every Biafran to fight the battle of Biafra. The battle of Biafra is not left for Simon Ekpa alone. It's not left for DOS alone. It's not left for you and I alone. Every single person has the right to fight for Biafra. Everybody living in the old southeastern region, the present south and the southeast and the lower Benue, every one of us have the right to fight for the Biafra struggle. We have the right to fight for Biafra. And if you see somebody coming against Biafra, don't come and call me to go and fight the person. You do the fighting. Do the fighting yourself. When I see you're fighting for a just cause or a right cause, I will join you. Don't go and point somebody and say somebody begin to fight and begin to demonize somebody because the person refused to join you to fight or the person refused to talk the way you want him or she to talk. That is absolutely wrong. That thing that you see that you think is wrong, why don't you dedicate your own platform to talk about that? Nobody's going to disturb you. Dedicate your own platform. Talk about that. Leave every person on their own. Leave people on their own. Leave people on their own. Because you don't know it all. Biafra is a spirit. Just as you always say, Biafra is a spirit. So why must you begin to demonize people if you know that Biafra is a spirit? Spiritual things are so deep. Spiritual things are deep that you cannot understand it all. Every one of us have a spirit that is talking to us. It is not only one person that spirit is talking to. Every single human being living on the planet Earth, as long as you have conscience, you have a spirit talking to you. But the difference is that some people are having evil spirit talking to them. That is different. Which spirit is talking to you? If you cannot be able to wake up the good spirit in you to talk to you, evil spirit will take over and begin to speak to you. So when somebody tells you that spirit says to him or her, spirit can equally talk to people. But which spirit is talking to you? Is it a good spirit or a right spirit? Even if it's a good spirit, sometimes the spirit will be talking to you in parable. Are you able to interpret what the spirit is saying to you? Are you able to digest what the spirit is saying to you? If you are not able to digest what the spirit is saying to you, you listen again and again. If you can't digest it, if a prophet says something and you can't digest it, forget about it and move on. Seek for your own solution. Pray within your own self for Chukwuka to reveal to you. Then you can get a better revelation. When you get a better revelation, you talk about it, you preach it. People cannot buy it. But for you to pick up a fight and begin to expect people to go and fight a fight, you want to choose a war for people. No, you don't do that. You cannot choose a war for me to fight. I choose my fight. I choose my fight. When I see a legitimate fight that I have to fight, I'll fight it. But when the fight is not legitimate, I'm not going to join you. Go ahead. Go ahead. It is your right to fight your fight. For one to come out and begin to impose something on somebody that you must do this, you must say this, you must act on this way, you must say it in this way. No, you don't do that. If you want to know the reason why I do what I do, all you got to do is to come to my program and ask me, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Then I will tell you my own reason for doing what I want to do. If you have a way to convince me, you can come. If you cannot be able to convince me from changing my own way of doing things, then you let go. Go ahead on your own platform and preach what you want to preach. But make sure you are not doing things that is going to destroy the foundation that have been laid. Something that is working, don't destroy it. Something that is working, don't destroy it. Already we have seen things that are working. We have seen why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu still remains in the mouth of every politician today. It is because of sit at home. It is because of the sit at home. Biafran people are sitting at home. The civil disobedience, that is why the issue of Biafra is still hot in Biafra land. And nobody can change that. If you try to change it, that you become an enemy. We must continue until Biafra comes. Thank you so much for watching wherever you're watching from. Please share the video in your platform, share it to family and friends. After I leave here, I will be going to my program again on Chooks for Survival. Later on, I'll also be on Chooks Survivor channel on YouTube to preach. So if you have your time, you can join me. Each time I'm on live, I will share the link over here. Whenever I'm live anywhere, I share the link on this page. So whenever you see me, I'm live somewhere else. Sometimes I go to other programs, I share the link here. You can join. You can join. There are people that want to join, where you can be able to join me on my program. If you want to comment or if you want to participate on discussion, if you want to join on the discussion, you can only join me on discussion when I'm on Chooks for Survival. If I'm on Chooks for Survival, that is where I can give you link so that it can be easy for you to join. You click the link, you join and make your contributions. For over here, I just send out the message here and preach on my own and say my own views and give my points. But when I come to Choose for Survivor, I will have the chance to be able to share links so people can join me, give their opinion. So go and follow Choose for Survivor. Follow for Choose for Survivor page. Choose for Survivor page. On Choose for Survivor page, you will be able to make your contributions. You can come out, the people will hear you. So many of us have things to say, but they don't have the platform. You are free. You can come on my platform, say what you want to say, give your own opinion, as long as it is for the progress of Biafra. It is all welcome. I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to guide and protect every single Biafran. We thank Chukwu Okike Abiama for releasing our brother Sunday Igboho. We say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama's name be praised. We appreciate our brother Sunday Igboho, and we pray that he will continue to be strong and he will continue to struggle for Oduduwa until Oduduwa comes. We pray for every Oduduwa person, every Biafran, every Middle Beltan, anybody that is genuinely fighting for freedom, wherever they are in planet Earth. Chukwu Okike Abiama will guide and protect you. We pray for our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, wherever our Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is. May Chukwu Okike Abiama guide and protect him, secure him, give him freedom, strengthen him. Every weapon formed against him shall never prosper. No weapon formed officially against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu shall prosper. Chukwu Okike Abiama will send doctors spiritually to continue to minister to him, give him absolute and complete healing. He will be stronger than ever. And very soon, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will join us and we will all celebrate. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you all. And I say, may Chukwu Okike Abiama bless you. See you again tomorrow by the special grace of Chukwu Okike Abiama. Thank you and remember this. Bye-bye.
Are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and get the point that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you. If you come and stand on the way of freedom. So you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We crush you.
Their interest is suppressed. Biafra is the key. Once they can hold Biafra down, they can hold the whole of Africa down. Hey, freedom fighting, sorry. Because all these people are criminals, they are saying there is no way this man cannot be a criminal like themselves. They don't have a different breed altogether. They don't know that. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I don't do all this nonsense you do. My father was a very rich man, not ostentatious. I had the finest education that his money could afford. We are not poor. Have never been. That is why a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. If you're not full of yourself, you cannot be a freedom fighter. You have to go everywhere. We must continue.